Good evening, and thank you to all who may still be watching, and thank you to everybody who came out today. Like my colleague, Ms. Shaylinda, I am also a union member. I do sit on the executive board as past president, as well as a negotiator and a job steward. So I really appreciate when we come out and support each other. So it was great to see all the union brothers and sisters, even though the vote didn't go as they wished. But I just want to say thank you for coming out, and also thank you to the residents who come out every week, no matter what's on the agenda. So I appreciate you. I see you out there. I want to invite the residents this Saturday. City manager just talked about it. We'll be giving out trees to promote Earth Day here at the demonstration garden. As well, on Saturday, we will also be collecting hazardous and electronic waste at the city yard. So if you have any paint or hazardous material at home, also large electronics, we will be taking those at the city yard from 9 to 2, is that right? 9 to 2 for free. So please come on down and get rid of your waste and help us. Let us help you get rid of that. In addition, we'll be hitting Edgemont with our Beautify Movelle on May 13th. So I invite you to go ahead and put that on your calendar now. We'll be promoting it as it gets closer, but I'm excited to say that the next park that we will be beautifying will be in District 1, and that will be Adrian Mitchell Park. And finally, I would like to just put it out there that we need to discuss whether or not what our next steps are, City Attorney, on the fact that from the podium we did hear and we did see documents claiming that one of our council members no longer lives in the city. So we want to see what next steps, maybe put it on the agenda. I think that you as the attorney would know where to fit it in, if it's a closed session item that we need to come and discuss, or if it will be here in public, as I hope it will be. But something needs to be discussed, and we need to talk about residency requirements, because as far as I'm concerned, he's either committed perjury or fraud. So he's either sitting up here fraudulently, or he's committing perjury to the state of California and to the Department of Motor Vehicles, as well as the voter registrar. So it's either perjury or fraud, but we need to find out which one it is. Thank you.
Next, we have closing comments from Councilmember Marquez.
Thank you, Mayor. And City Attorney, I do welcome that investigation to clear this up, but we'll leave it as that. Today, we had our joint task force at CRC, and I just want to go over some concerns and issues that were brought up at the meeting today. Traffic concerns of the Marie Valley School Districts, the schools. PD is very active on these schools before and after classes. Parents picking up kids, parking in no parking, making U-turns. PD is very active, especially with the motors. They're out there, and they're out there for one reason: not to harass anybody who's legally parked or making illegal U-turns. They're there for the protection of our students, so nobody will get run over or fatally injured. We talked about the new school on Nason. The school superintendent kind of mentioned it about the process of going in and out, what we're looking at. Again, PD did comment on the situation we have there with high speed going down Nason. Majority of the people driving down that street are out-of-towners going to the hospital, so they're not aware of this new school or the school going to be present. So I was hoping PD could hopefully bite that in the behind and get out there and the speeders, and hopefully we could slow that traffic down before the school opens in the fall of next year. We talked about school crossing guards. I'm not going to get into that because we're in the process of evaluating the cost, and we'll hopefully maybe Bryant can touch on that sometime later in the future on that. Just real brief, we police department we talked about issues in the city, talked about the recovery rate on vehicles, which is great. Love that. Engineering, talked about that. The city's concern about the fencing across that new school on Asen, so that was another thing was brought up. That's really about it, what happened today at the task force, so it was very productive. I just want to say thanks for all the residents that came out to speak tonight on this project. It sounds good to get all that money, but you know what? The price of somebody's health is priceless. No money will give you new lungs, will give you better health if you don't protect it. No money will cover that. So I believe that I made a good decision by not approving the project, but you know, I listened to the residents, not only in District 3, but the city. The majority of the residents that contacted me by emails also opposed the project. So at least I can go home and sleep tonight that I voted against it. Other than that, I wish everybody a good evening, and it's getting late, and I'll cut it short. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilmember Shalinda Bernard.
I would like to thank everyone also for coming out tonight. I'd like to see a packed house. It's kind of echoey in here tonight. But I appreciate everyone coming out. I appreciate every resident that emailed, called, or showed up tonight to speak and let us know how they feel, just like I appreciate the developer and the unions for coming out in support of the project. I like to hear both sides of it. I also would like to close out, like I said, everyone's trying to keep it brief tonight. I would like to close out in honor of Autism Awareness Month. I would like to also give a big shout out, because I'm a mother of a child that's on the spectrum, to my oldest son, Nathaniel. Sorry, he's my baby. And I would like to give a big shout out to his teachers at El Pochero Preschool, Miss Tasha, his aides, Miss Amanda, Miss Lorena, Miss Aries, and Miss Aries, Miss Lorena. Oh my gosh, and it's because you told me don't forget. I'm going to count it. Okay,
We'll come back to you.
I know. Lorena, Aries, Amanda. No, that's it. Leave me alone. No, that's it. That's it. It's only the 4 of them. For all that they do with their children in the autism program, especially also the other autism teacher, Mrs. E, and all of the aides there. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows that these children, as one parent put it when we were discussing it, one of my friends, you have joined a journey, and it's not always easy. There are some difficulties ahead because you have to train yourself to think as they think. And sometimes things that we take for granted for our other children, if you've ever met my youngest, he can talk your head off, literally. I brought him in the office, and he can talk to you about dinosaurs and everything in between. Something as simple as having your child make eye contact and say hi is extremely important, and it makes you so proud as a parent. And don't ever take for granted the fact that your children can say hi and bye or I love you. He saw Mayor Pro Tem Delgado, and I was extremely proud that he'd never met him before, but he looked up at him and said hi. And that was important because it was a skill we'd been working on. Yeah, it's a skill we have been working on for a while. So don't ever take those moments as a parent for granted. Although he hasn't said I love you yet, I know it's coming. I'm waiting on him to look at me and say, Mommy, I love you. So always remember that children on the spectrum think a little differently, but I see you out there as a parent. I hear you, and it's okay. This journey is not always easy, but we're going to get there, and we're going to look back and go, I remember when you couldn't even say hi to anybody. So with that, I'll close and have fun at the air show. Stay off of Cactus all week. Alessandro's probably going to be blocked, so go all the way up Heacock, all the way to beautiful sunny Mead, and take that to get in and out of town, because if they can't get on Cactus, they're probably going to be on Alessandro. So just go the long route to everything. And if you can, please come up here and get a tree on Saturday, because I will be here. And I think, is that everything we're doing this? Yeah, that's it. And have a good night.
Thank you, Councilmember. Next, we have Mayor Pro Tem Ed Delgado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. and I don't know how to follow that, but Nate did good. I would have never known because he did so good. So, so kind of moving forward as the school year closes, do me a favor. Anybody who sees or comes across a crossing guard, please thank them for what they do all year round, all school year. They don't get paid. I mean, I know they get paid a little bit, but they're not there for the money. I guarantee you that. They're probably mostly retired. I have a great relationship with ours up there at Sugar Hill, and he is amazing. He's very aware of who's who and all the speeders and the parents that get crazy on him. So please thank them. And for us, as the year closes, you guys probably thank them for what they do as well. Reminder, Beautify Moval is coming up. We had a great turnout at the free county dump day. So I don't know, I think there was over 300 cars, 300 residents of the city of Moreno Valley, because they had to be city of Moreno Valley, that utilized and took advantage of that. So, but in saying that, we have one at the city yard every Beautify Moval. So every organized Beautify Moval, we can always take that stuff down to the city yard. So take advantage of that as well. I had a town hall at the Sunny Ranch, and it was amazing. And I'll tell you why it was amazing, because we discussed for almost 2 hours stuff that went on in the district and their neighborhood. Not one time did we bring up politics. And talk about comments about it. That was a great meeting. We got so much accomplished because we didn't talk politics. We didn't say nothing about positions. We just talked about how to make that area better. I'm going to host one on May 6th at the Moreno Valley Equestrian Center. So I'm hoping it's very similar to that we just get up there and hear the concerns. And I will tell you that the folks that were there representing the city, the Sheriff's Department and Public Works, they got a lot of requests to find out something for them, and they knocked it out that day or the following day. So it was pretty amazing. So thank you for that. And I know that we're going to close in memory or in honor of Autism Month, but I would like to read you this. I was going to ask that we close in honor of Rudy. Isaiah 6 says, "Then I heard a voice from the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" That was Rudy. Rudy said, "No, boss, stay here. Let me go find him." Rudy didn't know the guy was armed. Rudy went in, but regardless, if he did know the guy was armed, he would have went after him anyways. So go and tell his people, be ever hearing, but never understanding, be ever seeing, but never perceiving. I know we're going to close in honor of Autism Month, but please keep our department and all of our public safety folks, including our canines, in your thoughts and prayers. Rudy's services will be held in a couple of weeks, and it is going to be open to the public at the March Air Museum Dog Memorial. And I'll certainly, if you ever want to know the specifics on that, just email me or let me know, and I'll share that with you. So. Please be kind to one another. I know that there's still a little bit to figure out with Councilmember Marquez, and what I would recommend is we figure it out sooner the better. And Steve, I don't know if we have to do a formal figure it out or if you and Councilmember Marquez work it out. I think we should work it out. And the reason I say that is not to put you down, Dave, but it scares me that this could be null and void, or something that we decide as a group can be null and void because there's a mistake or there was a decision to change your address or something. So I think as a council member, I think we should make sure that we're all legit and we're all on the up and up. And if that requires, and you called it an investigation. I don't know if it's an investigation. I think it's just that you have to find out if it's legit, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I highly recommend we do that sooner than later. That way we can just continue to move on. One thing that I did see tonight was a lot of people that had different opinions, but they were very respectful. And I think we're moving in the right direction. And this is just another thing that we can move in the right direction and be respectful about it. So, but be kind to one another, and see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So I think that that means I get 5 minutes tonight, right? I'll make it shorter than that, but just a couple things here in closing. I did attend this past week the City Leader Summit in Sacramento. It was very well attended. You had elected officials from all across the state, and this was the first time in a very long time that the California League of Cities held their event in conjunction with CSAC, which is the I guess, the counterpart to the league, but for the County Board of Supervisors across the entire state of California. So we were all there together. Our own supervisor was there, and the current president of CSAC is Supervisor Chuck Washington, who represents I forget the district number, but he's from Riverside County as well. So that went really well. I had a chance to meet with several state legislators, including our legislators, Senator Richard Roth and Assemblymember Jackson, as well as one of the newest members, who's one of my former colleagues on the Latino caucus, Assemblymember Soria out of Fresno, and others as well. So that went really well. We talked about homelessness. We talked about housing, new pieces of legislation that are going through the process. And it was just a lot of people up there all at the same time. There are public hearings happening, people running all over the place. So it was a busy, busy time, but very, very productive, and a lot of good information that I was able to bring back from there. Also was able to attend the Senior Center Easter egg hunt, and it's always nice to go there. I don't go as often as I would like, but I think Councilmember Marquez was there as well, and I would have jumped in and did a little bit of Zumba dancing with them, but I was all suited up. So I said, maybe next time, let me put my tennis shoes on. So it's always nice, always really nice to get there, to be with them. I also was able to attend the Rally Around Fitness event that took place at March Middle School. And what that event is, I think last year Mayor Pro Tem attended that one, and essentially what that is a event for rallying around fitness for our special needs students from across Moreno Valley Unified. So we all came together on that day, and I mean, you should have seen the smiles on their faces. They were so excited and happy to just, do the countdown and then start, going through all the obstacle courses and play all the sports. It was really, really nice. So just thank you to Moreno Valley Unified for having me out there. A reminder that the air show is also coming up on the base, as has already been mentioned. That is coming up, 21st and actually 22nd and 23rd, right? Saturday and Sunday? Yeah, 22nd and 23rd. That's this weekend. So just a reminder that is free admission and free parking. Again, free admission, free parking, and they're expecting a massive turnout. So hope to see you all there. Beautify Mobile has already been mentioned. So this time around, it'll be District 1 and District 3. So look forward to seeing everybody out there as well. Anybody that wants to volunteer, please come out and join us. I'll be having a community meeting at the Espresso Bar in Sunnymead Ranch next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. So if anybody would like to come out and ask any questions or just get a little bit of input, maybe share your concerns, I'll be there at the Cupcake and Espresso Bar up in Sunnymead Ranch next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Also, the Autism Awareness Art Show that is happening tomorrow. One of the public speakers came out and shared a little bit of information about that. So that is happening at Palm Middle School tomorrow from 5 to 7:30. The Moval sign letters will be there on display, and it's going to be really nice. So anybody that would like to come out to that, look forward to seeing you there. And in closing, we'd just like to honor Councilmember Bernard's request to close in honor of Autism Awareness Month. And while I don't have my son is not autistic, but just having young children and being on a city council, serving in these type of positions, it's not easy. And anybody else, whether you work at City Hall or anywhere else, any type of day job that you have is just now I'm experiencing that firsthand, right? How important it is to have a babysitter, something that simple, and how much work it is. So, it's nice to wake up in the morning and, you just see their smiley faces. So just want to honor your request, Councilmember Bernard, to close in honor of Autism Awareness Month, and also to close in memory of K9 Rudy. So with that, have a good night, and we'll see you at the next one.